All right, so here we go. Friday yoga. And today we are looking at the throat chakra, which is this area around the throat, behind the jaw, thyroid. And the Sanskrit is Vishuddha. And it connects with the color blue. There's actually the form of meditation that I've been studying for several years is called Blue Throat Yoga. And I just realized that it must be called that because it's from the philosophy of Tantra, which is where Anusara also comes from, which is this idea that people kind of living in the world can also become enlightened. We don't have to like become monks and, live in a cave and renounce the world to become enlightened. So we can do that through our yoga and our daily life practice. But the kind of the Hindu deities that are connected with throat chakra are Shiva and Shakti, and Shiva and Shakti are sort of like the primary kind of energies, gods, whatever you might call them, for Tantra philosophy. And I think I've talked just a little bit about that, but Shiva is kind of is also in the Anusara invocation, the first line, Om Namah Shivaya. Shiva is the universal consciousness that we think of in yoga, that you can call the divine, you can call it grace. And the idea in Tantra philosophy is that we are all that. But we become sort of, we forget because we get this kind of debris on the lens and layers of sort of external kind of critique. And then we forget that we're already divine, and our yoga practice can help us to kind of sift through those layers to get to that kind of inner wisdom and realize that we are connected all the time and are in fact divine consciousness. So this is a pretty powerful chakra. And interestingly, I thought when I was just reading a little bit about it, is that it's connected to this idea of really embodying your authentic self and speaking your truth, which, in the yama and niyamas from Patanjali Sutras, satya is the Sanskrit word for truth. So in our practice, I was thinking about poses that we could move through to kind of connect with that core element of our being that is consciousness. And, but through the lens of the throat chakra, connect with that authentic self and find a way to, through the expression of our asana, express and embody our inner truth, whatever that may be, which, can change all the time. But so I invite you, kind of with all of that really heady philosophy, to find your seat. You can roll the thighs in and widen the sitting bones and not feel, too intimidated by the throat chakra. It's an invitation. And so as you're connecting to the earth, allow your breath to just softly come in slow, steady inhalation, in through the nose. You can pause at the top of the breath and then exhale through the mouth. And let the breath be the beginning of that remembrance of who you are authentically. The first step is to just connect with that inner truth. So just take a few moments in breathing to begin to connect to your inner truth, whatever it may be, in this moment. And breathe in and out. As you begin to seek out and maybe find that inner truth, see if you can just hold on to that. Maybe it's a word, maybe it's an image or a feeling or a memory of a moment where you felt really connected to who you are. Or maybe it's with a person who allows you and in fact kind of demands that you be who you are completely. And then using Ujjayi breath, see if you can breathe through the throat chakra. Ujjayi breath is where you inhale and exhale through the back of the throat. And you can even keep the mouth open just a little bit and you get that kind of intense sound. Almost like when you're listening to like a big shell from the ocean. And see if you can, using the throat chakra as that kind of channel, breathe that memory, that truth through Ujjayi breath. And slowly bring your hands to heart center, pressing the thumbs into your sternum. And inhale, lift your heart into your hands and draw the shoulders and the throat back. And bow to your inner truth or the desire to find it. It can take time to just, and much practice to get through those layers to find it. So if you're not quite sure, that's also fine. Just allow your breath and your yoga to move you along that path to truth. And release the hands down and open your eyes. Welcome. We're going to begin by taking the head and moving in slow circles. So in that area around the throat, beginning to open up the neck and shoulders and the upper body. Take the head in one direction, doesn't matter which one. A few times, just beginning to open up that channel. And then switching and taking it in the other direction. So we're also creating some balance in that opening and the release of tension in the muscles and that opening of the energy body. And then return to center as you're finishing that revolution. And we're going to do shoulder rolls. So we inhale the shoulders up, exhale, draw them back, down, and forward. And I'm going to move back to my mat as you're rolling your shoulders. So keep following your own breath and rhythm. Up, and inhale, and then exhale, down and back. You might even be rolling your body a little bit like a little wave. And then finishing this revolution, we'll switch and we'll move in the other direction. So first back on the inhale and up, and then exhale forward and down. And then return to center. We're going to take the arms out to the side. First, palms facing down. And you're going to take your right hand and turn the palm facing forward, and the left hand so the palm is facing back. This is cow face arms, but we're not doing full cow face pose. To begin opening the shoulders and the upper body. So you're going to take your left hand, palm facing back, and gently rest it just at the bottom of where, the area where your scapula is meet. in the middle of the back, the thoracic spine. And then the right hand comes palm pressing into the back of the head. And if it's available to you, or if you have a belt, you can use it also to walk the hands towards each other. For me, this side is a little bit tighter, so I don't normally really get my hands completely clasped. The other side is a little bit more open, and that's totally normal, whatever normal is. And settle into this space. On the inhale, lengthen the side body with the heart. On the exhale, press your head into your hands and just breathe. It can be a big opening. And on the next exhale, release the arms back and turn the palms parallel, facing down to the earth. And we're going to switch. So now the left hand comes palm facing forward, right hand palm facing back. And I can just barely touch my finger. I'm like, this area of my body is really tight today. So maybe I've lost some of that remembrance of being connected to my inner truth. So I really need this practice. Breathe in the space. It can be a really big stretch in the shoulder and also in the upper arms. And exhale and release the arms. And we're going to do what I call the Desiree seated stretch, because one of my favorite yoga teachers taught this stretch in a workshop, and it was really amazing at stretching the area around the shoulder blades. So you come up, bringing your feet up on the heels, knees bent, toes spread wide, feet flexed, so you're really engaging the legs, the muscles in the legs. And then to make sure that your back's not rounding, take your hands up on fingertips, just on either side of the hips. Lift up and tilt the pelvis forward a little bit, or draw the hips back. And then when you lift up, you might notice you get just a little bit. You don't need a big curve, just a little bit, so that you're not collapsing the upper back and losing that channel chakras along the spine. And then what we're going to do is we'll do this on both sides. But if you take the right hand, the outside of the left foot, and you just clasp that left foot. This can be as much or as little of a kind of opening stretch as you like, so you can test your limit. So what you're going to do is you're going to push your foot into your fingertips, like you're trying to draw your back body forward, but at the same time you're going to resist, trying to draw that right shoulder towards and onto the back. And you can even lean back. So here you might breathe into that space behind the heart, the upper back rounding a little bit, but with intention. And use that Ujjayi breath here. And release. And just shake a little, just move the body, just release some of that muscular hugging in energy and soften. And we'll do the other side. So left hand to the outside of the right foot, keeping the legs really engaged. Make sure you've got that widening of the sitting bones, a little bit of a curve in the lower back, and then lean back, resist, create that energy, drawing the foot forward and resisting with your hand. Jai breath, the victory breath. And release. And we're going to come to table. Start working our bigger muscles in the body. So come to table and set up your alignment. Hands beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips, toes curled under. Engage the core, finding that connection to your inner truth. Create a neutral spine. And as you're ready, following your breath, inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, draw your drishti, your gaze forward. On the exhale, tucking the pelvis, rounding the back for cat. Let each inhalation bring you a little bit closer to that revelation of who you are. The breath can be the guide, can be an opportunity. And one more round of cow and cat. And we'll come back to that neutral space. And we're going to do a modified side plank and then a shoulder open. So taking your left foot at a 45-degree angle off the mat, and the right foot comes to stretch long with the outer edge lined up with the short end of the mat. And notice that your body already wants to open to the right and lift the right arm up to the sky. Here you can hug that energy from your fingertips down towards the heart, and from the heart rise up and out through the fingertips and out through the toes. You can gaze up at the lifted arm and even draw your head and throat back a little for a back bend if that feels available to you. Get a nice side body stretch when you do that. You might. Some bodies do. My body does. Exhale and take the right arm down and come back for a moment to table, and then you're going to take that right arm and weave it between the left hand and the left knee, resting your shoulder and your head on the mat. I'll face you here in case you want to see what that looks like. For a deeper opening the shoulder, you can kind of just scooch your right arm through a little bit more. And breathe into that space behind the heart, the universal space, divine consciousness that we are connected with and that we are. And through our yoga, through that seeking of the truth, we can remember that we are. Inhale back to center, and we'll do the other side. We're going to take the right foot off the mat, the left foot comes to stretch long, and already open up. Open your heart, draw the throat back and keep it open, fusing up with the lifted arm. Opening for that possibility, inviting connection with our inner truth. And we find that, then shining it out. Speaking our inner truth is as important, I think, as finding it. Just fully embodying it. And exhale, come back down the table and thread your left arm between the right hand and the right knee to open the left back body. And just breathe into that space behind the left shoulder, inviting, opening. Can you see your giant breath if that helps to create that spaciousness, that softening? And then inhale, return to center. And we're going to come again to modified side plank on the left side and take the right hand to the hip. And then we're going to do some lifts on the right leg. And this is going to engage our core, that central space, our inner wisdom, connect to that space. And it's going to work the muscles of the core and also our glutes. You're going to inhale and lift the right leg and hug it in. Squeeze your right glute, engage the core, and then lower down. And we'll do that 10 times. So just following your own rhythm. You can pause at the top, really hug it in and feel that strength, that connection. There's no hurry. Like I said, it can take a lifetime to really connect with your inner truth, and that truth can change a little bit with time. And as you shed those kind of layers that are not authentic to get at the heart of who you are. When you get to the 10th one, see if you can hold it for a moment, really hug everything in, and maybe even lift the top arm, draw it over the ear. Really stretch through the fingertips and through the heel of your right foot. And then exhale and come down, back to table. And we'll do that on the other side. Taking your right foot off the earth. Open to the left, take your left hand on the hip. Inhale the left leg up, hug it in. Squeeze the glute, engage your core. And exhale, lower down. And then 9 more times. We'll bring it on that last one. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then hold that last one. And even lift the top arm, stretch it out over the ear. Feel that vibration of energy. And exhale. Lower down. And come into downward facing dog. And find your way into this bit of an inversion, hearts below the hips. So it can be soothing, especially when you've been working a little bit, building up some of that heat. Your first down dog of the day, you might draw the left thigh back, left heel down, bend the right knee, and then switch to walk the dog. Ujjayi breath. Draw your connection inward. Just softening the thoughts from the mind that come in to help reconnect with that essential element of truth of who you are. And then returning to center, bend the knees really deep. Tilt the pelvis forward, wide of the sitting bones. Hug your core in a little bit. Engage, draw your gaze forward, and then hop or walk forward to meet your hands in Uttanasana. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Release the hands to the hips, bend the knees, and inhale, come to rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. Reach for the sky. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Just gonna move my computer back to see if then I don't cut my head off. Then I lose the throat chakra a little bit about my head. And hands at heart center and release down into Tadasana. For a moment, pause. Find your foundation. This is the first principle in Anusara. We find that foundation, feet hip width apart, parallel, and bend the knees. When we have that foundation, then we can begin to open the heart, to open that connection to the universal, that divine energy that is really the truth of who we are. There may be others. There are many, many truths, many stories, many energies. It's ironic that I have a husky here because I think like animals are they're always attuned to who they are. It's like their essence. They're not able to be something they aren't. There's something beautiful about that you can learn from. Go ahead and inhale. Bring the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana and exhale. Dive down to meet your feet in Uttanasana. Inhale the heart forward, Ardha Uttanasana. And you're going to step back to plank pose, Shalabhasana. Sorry, I guess. Hug in here. Feel that connection. Burning of the leg muscles, the core. Draw your gaze forward and exhale. Lower down, hover above the earth. And then all the way down. Take the tops of the feet flat. Rock the hips from side to side. The hands come beside the lower ribs. And we'll do a baby cobra. So inhaling, coming up. Baby cobra. Claw your fingers on the mat, making sure the four corners of the hands are really rooted. Part of our foundation here. And then exhale, curl the toes under and push back to downward facing dog. From dog, inhale forward to plank pose. And then exhale again, lowering down to chaturanga, hovering above the earth. Come all the way down. And take your hands to your arms to stretch long by the side body. Hands still, fingers spread wide. We're going to do Shalabhasana. So this would come up, the legs stay rooted to the earth. So you spread the toes and you're going to root your toes into the earth. On the inhale, draw the shoulders onto the back, hug and engage the core, and then inhale. Lift up and draw the arms back. Keep the legs rooted to the earth. Breathe. Feel that connection in the core and the back. And exhale, lower down. And take your arms and make a little pillow and rest your forehead. Just for a pause. If you turn your head to the side, after a couple breaths, turn it to the other side to keep that balance. And for just a moment, while we're pausing, remember that beginning exercise where we were thinking about who we are authentically, and remember what came to you. Even if it was just the question, who am I, to consider. And hold that in the space of the throat chakra. Imagine it surrounded by this amazing blue energy, breathing life into it, helping it to reveal itself to you. And then we're going to take our arms back again to our sides, spread the toes wide. And this time when we lift up, we'll lift the arms and the legs into full locust pose. So engage the core, draw the shoulders on the back. Notice that you rise up a little bit already. And then inhale, lift the arms, lift the legs. Draw the throat back, tuck the chin. See if you can grow through the side body up into the shoulders and extend even longer. It's like you're drawing all that energy of the chakras along the spine, from the Muladhara, from the root chakra, all the way up to the throat and up to the crown. And exhale, lower down and release. And you can again rest and come back to the throat chakra again. Just feel that vibration moving through your whole body. Bring the hands beside the lower ribs, curl the toes under, push up to Palakasana, plank pose, and back to dog. Find your foundation. Gazing between the hands, you can bend the knees and hop forward to meet the hands. Uttanasana. Inhale the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Release the head down. Release the hands to the hips, bend the knees. And inhale, rise up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale the hands to heart center and release down. For a moment, pause in Tadasana. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, Urdhva. Exhale, swan dive down. Uttanasana, bring the heart forward halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, step the left leg back, runner's lunge, and then lower the left knee for Anjanae Asana. Hug the knee and your right foot towards each other and feel that engagement in your leg muscles. Draw your right hip back so the hips are squared forward. And then bring the arms forward, shoulders onto the back, and sweep the arms up. You can lean a little forward to stretch that back thigh. And breathe. Exhale and touch down. You're going to take the left knee back a little bit and then bend. Draw the left foot towards your outer left hip, taking the left hand on the top of the left foot. You're going to come on the top of the knee so you're not putting too much pressure directly on the kneecap. And then lift up, drawing the left foot towards the outside of the hip so you also don't put too much, you want to tweak the knee. The right arm comes forward, integrate the shoulder, and draw the right arm up towards the sky. Engage the core, and hug all that energy in, aligning with your inner truth. Inhale with the heart. Breathe in the space of authenticity. Exhale, release. And you can step the right leg back and the left leg forward for Anjanae Asana on the other side. Draw the arms forward, integrate the shoulders on the back, and sweep the arms up. Leaning forward for the front thigh stretch to the right side now. Hug the core in so you're not collapsing and losing that connection. We always want to stay connected. Helps us remember who we are, which is the work of the throat chakra. And then touching down, we're going to come and take the right knee back just a little bit, then bend and draw the foot towards your right hip. Come to clasp the top of your right foot, drawing your foot towards your outer right hip, and then lifting up. Draw the left arm forward now, integrate the shoulder on the back, and sweep the arm up. If that's available to you, you can keep, if you're feeling unsteady, you can keep your hands down, and that's also fine. Honoring what you need in this moment is honoring your inner truth. Especially recognizing that there's no need to place judgment on it. It's just where you are in this moment, and that's fine. That's part of your path. One of my yoga teachers, my first yoga teacher, said, what you're experiencing now, if it's frustrating or you feel limitations, it may be just because that's what you need in this moment to move forward on your path. Learning how to deal with those moments of frustration or something happening that's not like we want it to be. Exhale, lower down. And now again, take the right leg forward and we're going to come up to full runner's lunge. Take the arms back, palms facing up, and sweep them up to full high lunge. Feel yourself fully present, authentically you in this asana, in this moment. Nothing else matters. All that other stuff, just let it float away. And touch the left hand down and open to the right for a twist. Touch the right arm down, keep the right leg back, switch, bring the left leg forward. Sweep the arms back, palms facing up, and inhale, rise up, high lunge. Stay rooted in your foundation, pressing through the big mound of the big toe on the left foot, anchoring your weight out out through the right heel. You touch the right hand down and open for a twist on the left side. Touch down, step the right foot forward to Uttanasana. Inhale the heart forward, the Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold. Release the hands to the hips, bend the knees, and inhale to rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart center, and release down. Breathe. Inhale, open the heart. Imagine just all that energy moving through the throat chakra, and then exhale. And breathe. And release. We're going to come and take a wide stance. Prasarita Padottanasana. Outer edge of each foot is lined up with the short edge of the mat. And then hug everything in and feel that engagement. Hug your core, feel it all. And we're just connecting to that inner truth so that you can express it as you move into the asana pose. So lifting the arms up and out. Draw the throat back and gaze up. Yes. Feel yourself just completely in this moment, in this pose. And draw the arms across, one over the other, all the way up. And exhale back out. And inhale, cross with the other arm in front now. And exhale. We're going to take and turn the heels in so the toes are pointing out at a 45-degree angle. And on the exhale, we're going to lower and bend the knees, the arms sweep. So you're giving yourself a little hug, hugging your courage and seeking that inner truth to shine it out. And then inhale and sweep the arms up and cross one over the other. And then exhale. Hug. And you can switch arms, or if that's like just too confusing, don't worry about it. It's just to get that fluidity, that dance. It's like the dance of inner truth, which requires some self-love before you can shine out, I think. A couple more times. With your own knuffle contact. And one more time, lift them just through the fingertips, through the toes, from the heart, shine out in every direction. That same yoga teacher used to say, the greatest gift you can give the world is to share your truth. It's a challenging gift because you have to find it first. Bring the hands to the hips, and again, parallel the feet. We're going to inhale the heart and exhale and fold forward halfway, coming to touch on the fingertips. Tilt the pelvis forward to widen the sitting bones as you inhale and bring the heart forward. Get a good stretch in the hamstrings, and then exhale and fold. Release down. Release the head, release the neck. And take some really cleansing rounds of breath here. Just allowing the muscles in the body to release some tension, to soften. See if you can place your awareness into the area that thighs, the quads, and the hamstrings behind. And see if you can invite the muscles in that space to soften, release a little tension. Allowing for a little more opening. And bend the knees. Release the hands to the hips. Hug your energy to the midline. Feel the firming, that engagement in the core, and use that strength. Use that wisdom to rise up. Inhale lift the heart. And bend the knees, and you can walk the feet into the center. Just release everything. Just let everything go. I think to find that inner truth can be a little less challenging when you do let everything go. Let the external expectations from other people that you place on yourself, just to get to the heart, the very center. And you can have those kind of moments of just pure connection, I find, through a yoga practice, especially when we practice together. We were talking about that at the start of class. How that kind of vibration of energy can be really strong when we practice together. The power of kula, community. So we're going to again now come to a wide stance. We're going to move into warrior 2 to high lunge to warrior 3. So we'll start with setting up for warrior 2 on the right side. Lift the arms, lengthen the side body, and release the shoulders back from the ears. Draw the throat back. Remember, keeping that throat chakra is open. Invitation. And then exhale and bend into the right knee. Draw your left arm back so your shoulder is aligned with the hip. Engage the core. Feel and connect with that warrior energy. That courage that can be needed, especially when you discover who you are, when you really figure out your inner truth. Can take that warrior energy to shine it out. On an inhalation, sweep the left arm forward to meet the right, come up on the back heel, and come into high lunge. Find your foundation, root into the essence of who you are, and shine forward from the heart through the fingertips. Inhale, lift the heart, and exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Move and bow forward towards your right knee, and you're going to step off the left leg and lift it any amount. You can keep the hands in Anjali Mudra, or you can bring them out to the side or to your hips. Forward for warrior 3. See if you can press off your right foot and lift the heart and bring it forward. And exhale. Touch back down. High lunge. Exhale, open back to warrior 2. Straighten the right leg, take the hands to the hips and parallel the feet. And we're going to move through that sequence on the other side. Draw the left heel in 45 degrees, and you can turn the toes out. So that for your foundation, if you were to draw a line from the back of your left heel all the way to your right foot, you would come to roughly kind of the almost to the heel. It's like the back end of the arch. That works for many bodies. But finding what foundation feels authentic for you is also part of the practice. So that is encouraged. You're going to turn the hips, lift the arms out to the side, hug that energy in, lengthen the side body, and bend into warrior 2. Keep that core engaged, connecting to the essence of who you are. Keep the throat open, heart open. On an inhalation, bring the right arm to sweep forward, coming up on the right heel, and lift up for high lunge. And connected to the Ujjayi breath as well. Keep that vibration. Bring the hands to heart center and bow forward, placing your weight into the left foot and lift off the right foot. You can always step forward halfway as well. You can also place your hands on the front thigh to push and lift your heart forward. Anchor into your authentic self. Maybe lift the arms in flight, shining that truth out. On an exhale, step the back foot down and sweep up to high lunge. Full round of breath, and then we'll open back to warrior two on the left side. Keep the fingers spread wide, engaging the muscles in the arms. Hugging in that muscular energy and softening a little as you shine out. Exhale, release the hands from the hips, parallel the feet, and you can bend the knees and step back to center. And just allow your body to sway, softening, releasing some of that effort. Just allowing yourself to be for a moment soft, still connected. Close the eyes. You can slowly come to that space of stillness in Tadasana. Feel your feet rooted to the earth. Bend the knees just a little. Hug your core in without losing a little bit of curve in the lower back or the shoulders towards the ears and onto the back, throat back. Tuck the chin just a little. Just be fully where you are, who you are. See if you can open your heart to embrace your authentic self. Soften the cheeks, soften the jaw. Remember that blue light in the throat chakra. If you can just bring that light like all around your whole being to just hold space for you. And release. And just let it go. You can slowly open your eyes. And we're going to do one more short sequence. I was thinking because we talk about that connection with Shiva, with the throat chakra. And there's the Shiva sequence that I love that I learned studying with one of my favorite Anasara teachers, Jay Martin, where you move through, you do the Shiva Nataraj, and you move into Dancer, and then tree and eagle or one or the other. Well, I can't remember the order, but we'll get there as we move through. But first, remember your foundation. Your foundation is you, who you are. So connect, root into that. And then you're going to take and lift your right leg, bend at the knee, foot flexed, and you're going to lift your right foot towards the center and bend the left knee and turn out to the right side. Takes a little bit of focus, balancing. And you can bring your hands to heart center. You can lift them up and out like Shiva. You can even dance Shiva Nataraj. Lose a little my steadiness when I do that, but that's okay. It's like those first beginnings of shining out your truth can be a little tenuous. And then we're going to come back to center, hands, the heart. Take the knee so that it's pointing down to the earth. Your right hand comes to clasp the top of the foot, left hand to the hip, just like when we were doing that thigh stretch in Anjanae Asana. And we're going to bring the left arm forward, palm facing up, and bow. Finding a spot to gaze out on the earth, then pushing the right foot into the right hand and resisting. So you're hugging in to lift the heart, shine your truth out for dancer. And then inhale, back to center. Here we come into tree, whichever variation of tree you feel drawn to. Again, pressing the foot into the inner thigh and the thigh into the foot to inhale and lift and grow your authentic tree. This is a tree that only you can create. A unique tree that is you. Hands come back now to heart center. We're going to release the knee, release the foot, bend the left knee, cross the right foot over the left. The arms come forward parallel. Cross the left arm under the right, bend at the elbows. Find that connection, placing the hands together. Inhale with the heart and the arms, and then exhale and bow. Feel that vibration of energy that is you. Breathe into that. And then exhale and release. Whoosh. Ah, that was a lot. We only need to do it on one other side, just like Jay Martin says. We only have a left and a right side. Isn't that glorious? So set up for the other side, and then we will cool down, and we'll have all this beautiful energy that we can soften into as we move towards Shalabhasana. Placing the weight in the right foot, lift the left leg, bending at the knee, flex the foot, spread the toes, bend into the right knee, and turn and open to the left side. Try not to let the husky lose your concentration, which is kind of like trying to hold on to that essence of who you are in times that others might question. Come back to center. Take the left hand to the top of the left foot, so the knee comes down to the center, rooting down to the earth, the right hand to the hip. Bring the right arm forward, palm facing up, and bow. Pressing the left foot into the left hand, but keeping that energy, that connection at your core. Taking your time to find steadiness. To remember. Inhale, come to center. Find your way into tree on the other side. And start with the hands in Anjali Mudra, and then lift and grow your branches up and out. Finding a space to focus your gaze, to keep that awareness and the remembrance. Then bring the hands to heart center. Release the foot. Cross the left leg over the right. Hug that energy in. Pressing the leg, drawing the legs together. Lower the hips. Bring the arms forward. Right arm under the left this time. And bending at the elbows. Crossing the hands. To come to press palms together. Inhale lift the arms. Exhale, bow for eagle. Keep that connection, hug it in. Remember who you are. And then inhale and release. You did it. Not easy to keep that connection. we can do it. We are going to now cross one foot over the other and come to sit on the mat. So you can release down and just pause for a moment. Widen the sitting bones. Bring the feet to touch, soles of the feet together, and the hands can come. You can clasp them over the tops of the feet or at the ankle. We're going to inhale, lift the heart, draw the shoulders back, open the throat chakra. Tuck the chin just a little. Invite that energy as you inhale. And then exhale and bow forward. You can pulse the knees a little bit if that helps release a little bit of the tension from that intensity in the practice. When I was little and I used to do with like gymboree, which is like little kid gymnastics, they would have us pulse our knees and they'd call them butterfly knees. Which I like that image. It's like here we are, we've been working towards finding the inner truth, and then it's like this beautiful butterfly, that comes to life after you go into the chrysalis and you go through that whole transformation and then you take flight. Just a beautiful expression of authentic self. And you're going to release. Come sit in the middle of the mat and lie back. We'll do a gentle bridge pose. You can take the arms at a diagonal, palms facing down. Inhale and just lift the hips and draw pelvis tilt forward a little so you get a bit of a curve on the lower back. Doesn't need to be a big one. A little space between the back of the neck and keep that inner spiral in the thighs as you root the feet down, the arms down, the back of the head, and inhale and lift the hips. For a gentle bridge. It doesn't have to be really deep unless that's what you feel drawn to. Root down the mound behind the big toe. Keep that inner spiral. Press the top of the head, the back of the head into the mat. And exhale, lower down. Release the legs down. We'll do a full body stretch. Making the arms with the sides and inhale, sweep the arms up and over. Stretch through the fingertips and the toes in both directions. And breathe in that space for as long as it feels nourishing until you're ready to exhale and sweep the arms back up and over to the side. And we'll do that 2 more times. And after the third, set up for Shalabhasana. So if you want to get anything like a pillow or a blanket to create a cozy space to support your body at the end of this intense practice of connecting to the inner truth. It is an intense practice. Take your time to do that. And then as my teacher Karen says, soften into gravity. I love that. Just allow your mat and the earth beneath you to hold you up. Support from the universe on this difficult path of becoming. And just let everything go. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishrapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishrapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Murtaye Nishrapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase I am a word of hope and love. I bring honor to the world. I will push the darkness away. Can I come to your house and stay? I am a word. I am the root of all resistance. I bring light for us to grow. I will push the sorrow away. Can I come to your heart and stay? I am a word. I am the light you left behind. The path that you now follow. The melody of your song. The place you can belong. I am a word of hope and love. I bring honor to the world. I will push darkness away. Can I come to your house and stay? I am a word. Slowly begin to come back into this moment. Using the breath to guide and remind you that you are divine consciousness. The essential truth of who you are is always that. And breathe in that reminder, keeping that throat chakra open. And just slowly guiding that conscious awareness through your being. Move gently, there's no hurry. in ways that are nourishing and support what you need in this moment. Eventually, as you're ready on an exhale, draw the thighs, knees in towards your chest, and you can roll to your right side and pause for a moment, taking the left hand at the heart, the right arm to cradle your head and neck. Just a soft moment of remembering and honoring your efforts on this path. And then use the hands to push yourself back to a seated position. And we'll come to sit together in this yoga infinity loop, drawing our practice on the mat to a close and then opening the practice off the mat. So sit well, bring the hands into the heart and close the eyes or keep them soft for a moment. Inhaling, remembering, honoring that vibration of energy that is you, the only you that ever was and ever will be. Inhale, lift the heart and the hands, and exhale and bow to that truth. Namaste, dear friends. Namaste.